Today we're going to try something a little different. We're just going to use a game. I don't even have a PGN of this game that I played, and I'm going to pull it out of memory, my memory. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through it very slowly because it was a complex Latvian gambit that lasted 20 moves. So I'm going to have to drag and drop these. Okay. So this was a kind of an interesting procession. This person was rated fairly high. Mid is rated like over 2200. And now he retreats to d3, which according to the computer still gives him an advantage. So we play pawn takes pawn. He plays knight to f4. Now the question is, I really haven't been in this position very much. What should I do? And my feeling was I needed to consolidate in the center. The computer's decided that queen to f7 is the best move. However, I did move c6. And now it says he should probably push d5, which he did in this game. So we'll see just how much of a computer he's using. And interestingly now, the idea that the computer has is to move g6. Or one thing that does prevent like a play on h5. And he likes moving the queen to e5 after that. So this is interesting. The computer's got a very unique way of playing this kind of position. Fixating on a queen on e5, you even see it coming up in the analysis quite a bit, moving the queen yet again. Kind of Nakamura style, lots and lots of queen moves. So I'm sure we can see that white's up about half here, and yet what I do is I move my bishop, and I don't think the computer likes this. Yeah, see, I just went down an additional amount. Now he just comes out with his knight. Now, once again, it's begging for queen to e5, and the right procession for white should be moving his knight to h5. And the computer just loves this stuff, so its evaluation is very interesting. Queen to e5. So it's not in my nature to move the queen that much. So I make the only, to me, there's three minor piece moves I can make. To d7, to bishop to e7, knight to h6. I don't really want to move my king's knight to e7 because it just clogs up the place. So what I do in this particular case is I move my bishop. Now we'll see how bad that is. Well, at first it says I'm lost. Now it says I'm close to lost. That's very interesting. So at this stage in time, I would have never guessed I was this badly lost. I'm not completely lost, but I'm right on the verge of losing with perfect play. So it says, interestingly, I have to take back with a knight. D takes c6, knight takes c6, and I wonder why that is, because I certainly didn't intend to do that. I intended to take back with the pawn, so it's not even giving that as an option. So knight at c to d5 is what's going to come if I take back with a knight, and then he's going to get on c7. So just out of curiosity, we'll see what happens if I take back with the pawn, how badly I'm lost. So I get knight on f to d5, and that's the reason why. It's because there's this huge sack coming, followed by penetration on c7, and the rook on a8 disappears. So shame on me. Says he should just play d takes c6 here. So that's the reason the queen has to go to e5. It's defensive of d5 in nature. And so the question is, what did white do here? And as I recall, white moved his bishop. So we're human. This new main line. Now it says I should move b5, and I think I probably just moved my knight to d7. I did move my knight to d7, which is the correct move here. Now he's beginning to lose the monster advantage. Interestingly, it says retreat bishop back to e2, but he castled. Okay. So So he's clearly up one, and the computer is still obsessed with me moving queen to e5. So I didn't move queen to e5, I moved my knight to e5, so let's see what's wrong with that. Okay, so just move his bishop to b3, preferred move, which he does. Okay, and I move, instead of g5, which I did consider, I just didn't want that knight going to h5, I moved my knight out and develop it. Now it says that, once again, that's a hideous error, and he should just move queen to e2 with a near winning advantage. So that's not what happened, obviously. He played pawn takes pawn. I played pawn takes pawn back. And now it says he should move queen to e2 with almost no advantage. I'm actually got a little better development than he does, unless you consider the fact that he's castled and I'm not. So let's see what he does. Okay. Oh yeah, this is where he checks. And I had considered at first that I was just going to move my knight back to f7. And, it's well covered by a number of things. And I would probably just have equality, but I decided to play aggressively and leave my king in the middle, which is probably an error. I retreated my bishop. So let's see what it says. He took it, by the way, with a knight, which was kind of what I was counting on. He should just retreat queen. Whoops, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I take back with the pawn. He retreats the queen. And he retreats it to e2, just as the computer suggests, double attacking my pawn. I move d5, defending. Now I have this nice pawn chain. And it says he can just sack on d5 and get equality at least. It says I'm not even supposed to take back. Instead, he makes his first real bad blunder. He moves f4. And so this is pretty much the beginning of the end for him, because I take en passant. I don't know if he's hallucinating that, there was a pin on my knight or what was going on exactly, but now all he has to do is take back. If he takes back, I can either check, or I can just move knight to f5 first and then check. So he's practically lost here. He moves queen down, and now the world's over. And it looks like I get the check in and win, and that's how to do it. So, yeah, obviously. Bishop to c5, there's a maiden 13 here, rook to f2. Look at that, bishop to c5 check. I move my knight out monstrously. So I missed the maiden 13, there's no big surprise. Okay, so instead, what do? I open up everything on the king's side. Mind you, now I'm up like 32, so this is going to be a blunder. And now see, I'm only up 16. Now it says he has to sack his queen to stay alive. Instead, he pushes pawn and ends up mate in 2. As you can see, at this point, it's actually mate in 3 or 4. So he plays h3. We'll see how fast the computer finds the mates. Yeah, mate in 4. So what happens is the rook ends up sacked on h3. The queen goes to f3, and that's the end of the game. So this was an interesting game where the king stayed in the middle, and black gave white a lot of opportunities. And that's the end of my Latvian today.